Hi, I'm Joe Garagiola.
And I'm Gary Carter.
And we're your hosts for the Ultimate World Series, the greatest games in World Series history played out in one classic series.
Up next, Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series. It's the fourth game of the 1978 World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees.
Reggie Jackson, Sweet Lou, and Tommy Lasorda, they'll take center stage in a play that you won't believe.
The ball deep to right field. And up there, the long drive to deep left going and gone. Goodbye. Responded to Brett. Oh, what a beam on his face.
Hi, I'm Joe Garagiola. In 1978, the headlines featured the peace accord between Egypt and Israel, the mass suicide of Jim Jones and his cult followers in Guyana, and the popularity of the album Saturday Night Fever. Well, the news in baseball was the comeback of the New York Yankees. They fought their way back from a 14-game deficit and beat the Red Sox in a one-game playoff. They call it the Bucky Dent game. Remember that one? Well, in the National League, the Dodgers caught fire down the stretch, and they won the West and beat the Phillies in the playoffs. And that set up the second straight World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. The Dodgers got off to a fast start, taking 2 of the first 3 games, but Game 4 was the turning point. To relive that game, I'm joined by former All-Star catcher and a World Series veteran himself, the Kid, Gary Carter. The Dodgers had to feel good about being up 2-1, Gary, and Davey Lopes had gone bonkers. He was really hitting.
Yeah, he had 2 home runs, had 5 RBIs in Game 1. Tommy John won Game 1. But the Dodgers got off to a tremendous start, and then it was the same matchup again in Game 4. But it just seemed as though that the momentum was in the Dodgers' favor at that particular time.
Yeah, but that was when Greg Nettles looked like a vacuum cleaner at third base. Was he coming up with some plays?
Oh, he was being compared to Brooks Robinson, the all-time Gold Glove winner and great for the Baltimore Orioles. Nettles had a tremendous game in Game 3, and that brought the Yankees back into it again. But it just takes a combination of a lot of different things to kind of spark a ball club, and Nettles did it with the glove.
Was there such a factor as a home team advantage? Yankee Stadium, there's just something about it, you know, maybe the ghost of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and all those monuments out there in center field.
Well, I've had the pleasure of being out there and looking at those monuments, and it's really a pleasure, and it's really quite a sight to see. But when you're playing at Yankee Stadium in front of those fans, they can have an effect on you. There's no question about it.
You know, you never played when the Shadows were in left field, did you?
No. I played an exhibition game when I was with the Mets after we won the World Series in '86, and that was the only time I played at Yankee Stadium.
The reason I say that is because I got to get a Yogi Berra-ism in here.
All right, I
okay?
love it. Okay.
Because I remember the Shadows were out there and talking to Yogi. I said, man, it must be tough out there. He said, it gets late early.
That's a great Yogiism.
Yeah, it's him. Let's go to Yankee Stadium right now for the pregame ceremonies.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. We now direct your attention to the box on the home plate side of the Yankee dugout, where to throw out today's ceremonial first pitch is the First Lady of the Yankees, Mrs. Lou Gehrig.
Mrs. Lou Gehrig, the First Lady of the Yankees, and she's got a pretty good arm, Tony. Breaking ball. Must have been a remarkable man to see play. The Iron Horse, 2,130 consecutive games. That is unbelievable.
Defensively for the Yankees, Chris Chambliss. He's at first base. Second base today, Fred Stanley, they call him Chicken with those bird legs. Good defensive player. Shortstop, Bucky Dent, wearing the eye black in case the sun comes back out. There's the man, Greg Nettles, put on the big show last night in the ball game and also the second game in Los Angeles. Left field, Roy White once again. Center field, Paul Blair today. Left-hander Tommy John going, and of course Rivers still having the leg problem. In right field, Lou Piniella. Behind the plate again, even though that shoulder is so sore he can barely swing and throw, is Thurman Munson. And pitching, Ed Figueroa. And Tom Seaver, you talked about the controversy surrounding this man. There have been some quotes attributed to Billy Martin that Billy did not say. Kurt Gowdy might have an interesting story, an update on that Martin Figueroa thing later on in the ball game.
Figueroa having a birthday today, 30 years old. He was a starter. Tommy John, a starter in that first game in Los Angeles. Tommy John was the winner, 11-5. He pitched 7 2/3 innings. Figueroa was the loser. He pitched an inning and 2/3. 20-9 in 1978. He'll be facing Davy Lopes. Lopes is 4 for 14. You think he'll hit the first pitch again? If you were pitching, would you go out there with that in mind?
You definitely go with that in mind, Joe, no question. You know, he's a first ball fastball hitter, and he's going to be hacking at it. That's always something the pitcher is conscious about when he starts off a ball game. I believe it's going to be a breaking ball.
I was always torn. If you had a good fastball pitcher, as they checked the ball, Paul Blair came in for some glasses. I was always torn between starting them off with a breaking ball. If you had a real good fastballer to say, here's my best fastball, you're a fastballer, I don't think you can hit it.
Well, many times a pitcher, when starting the ball game, will not have his fastball right from pitch one on. That may not come until the second, third, or fourth inning. Many times when I start a ball game, I'll throw the slider and just get it off the plate. To get a feel, to get your feet on the ground, and have that first pitch under your belt.
You would think that Figueroa was starting with a breaking ball. Let's see what he does. Why don't you guess along with us? It was a breaking ball for a strike. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Figueroa's another one of those pitchers who looks at the ground before he delivers to the plate, which makes hitters nervous.
Took me a while to learn, Joe, about Davy Lopes. I pitched the game against last year against the Dodgers. Lopes hit the first pitch over the right center field wall. Came to Cincinnati, led off the game. The first pitch he hit off the right center field wall for a triple. 2 pitches, got a home run and a triple off it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Nettles is really playing cat and mouse with Lopes, not coming in, but he's in a hole and he takes 2 steps to his right or even more.
He's very mobile as the pitch is on the way. He gets the sign, as we said yesterday, appeal play. First base umpire says no, Frank Pulley. But he'll get the signs from Bucky Dent. He'll yell his name on the fastball. He'll move to his left. On the changeup or breaking ball, he'll move to his right. Ball they're more likely to hit down the line. And he's like a tennis player who anticipates.
That's out of play.
Thurman Munson said before the game of Nettles, he's the best all-round athlete I've ever played any sport with. And Munson has played a lot of sports. There's Thurman. Talking about base running, fielding, hitting under pressure.
Right field. Piniella has room. 1 out. One away, it brings up Bill Russell as shortstop. He is 6 for 13. He is leading the Dodgers with base hits. Baker has 5. In fact, he's leading both teams. Jackson has 5. So here is Kurt Gowdy's man, the man he picked, and he's leading in base hits. Tough play. Another base hit. He just couldn't pick it up. That was one of those in-betweeners.
I don't think it was because of the wet turf, Joe. They had the infield covered all night, and the infield really does look pretty good. It's just a bad thing of communication between Munson and Figueroa. They don't really seem to be working together right there, and it's I got it, you take it kind of play, and no chance at first base.
One of the things they'll teach both the catcher and any infielder and the pitcher, too, especially, is to grab the ball with two hands, the glove and the hand. He grabbed it just with the glove and never could get a good grip on it. But the infield's very bumpy, as is the outfield here in Yankee Stadium.
Once that ball took that second bounce, it looked like Munson was out of play, and the only man could make it was Figueroa, and he couldn't get a grip on it. This is Reggie Smith. Smith, 3 for 13. He's driven in a run. 295 on the season. Got a big gap to shoot through between first and second. They've been testing Munson. Figueroa has a slow delivery, so they'll be able to get a pretty good jump on him.
Figueroa, a pitcher we mentioned it the first game he pitched, has been accused of having a balk move. That left knee or the left shoulder. It's something that the base stealers will watch very closely, and the umpire.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
There's a good shot, Joe and Tom, of exactly what the base stealer is seeing. What he is looking for, the feet, the knee, the left shoulder, the turn of the head, anything that will tip something off that he can grab and maybe steal.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out.
Many people think that baseball is really kind of a catch-as-catch-can business. Scouts that go around watch other teams will time a pitcher's delivery, how long it takes for him to set up from that position right there and then deliver the ball. It'll take X amount of time, and they'll want to know that. So when they go back to their own teams, they say, we can run this man and this man against this certain pitcher.
2 balls and 1 strike. Gene Mock, who manages Minnesota, was the first I ever heard talking about that with the timing.
Did a whole study. The pitcher's first move to the catcher, and then how long it took the catcher to get the ball before it got to second base.
3 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa behind Reggie Smith, who takes a look at Preston Gomez. You know he's hitting. What he wants to know is Russell running? Some hitters don't like that. They just want to concentrate. You heard Reggie Jackson talk about how on that strikeout by Welch that he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke. Russell's going. Ball 4. Reggie Smith draws a base on balls, so it's base runners at first and second, 1 out. And here is Steve Garvey, who is 4 for 12.
Just saw something I've never seen a third baseman do. Greg Nettles, because Bucky Dent was covering second base, as soon as the ball was thrown to the hitter, Smith, Nettles almost ran to cover the shortstop hole. I'd never seen a third baseman do that before. It was just an amazing thing to see.
There he is. Garvey, who is yet to drive in a run. Outside, ball 1. Figueroa was pretty much his pattern in that first game. We look at Reggie Smith at first and Russell's at second. Right field, Piniella coming in, he's got it. They're going to have a double play. Second base, that's what they want to do, and now they finally go there, so the double play goes 9-3, and second, it was a Stanley. Russell lost the ball.
Give the credit to Piniella. Piniella got a good job. Here comes Bill off second base. Now he picked up Piniella, and he says no way he's going to get that ball because it's sinking and slicing away. Preston Gomez cannot help him back. He's got to retouch while the ball goes to first base. He didn't even retouch. He's gone either way you look at it. Pretty good play by Piniella.
He'd have been out 2 or 3 different ways. It was Bucky Dent who was at second base.
Nettles might have been decoying him on that, too.
A bizarre double play, and there's the frustration of Bill Russell, so we go into the bottom half of the first inning.
We'll be right back with more of Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Being a catcher's no walk in the park. Take Mike Piazza. This guy's a human target for a flamethrower who can reach speeds up to 100 miles an hour. Even foul tips to the mask go with the territory. And he's got to call pitches, handle pickoffs, pitch-outs, and pop-ups. Not to mention human freight trains hurtling toward him. Spikes first. Try telling Mike Piazza Baseball isn't a contact sport.
This is NASCAR 98. I'm in a groove with new scuffs. Talk fast.
Hey, who's the best driver?
Wins Gordon. Consistency Labonte. Cups Earnhardt. All time the king Richard the 43rd.
What's the toughest track?
Bristol's a blender. Got a hanger. Rouse at the Glen. But Darlington's too tough to tame.
Are fans that loyal to their driver's sponsor?
Nate.
What?
1-888 My House. I'm bumping and grinding on my way to see the Hat Man. NASCAR 98. The ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Could you help me with the computer?
You need a laptop.
That's too small. I just wanted something to email my grandson.
Email? I got one more for you. Video conferencing. This puppy, great for presentations. 80 megs of RAM, DVD, lots of fonts. You like fonts? Of course you do. Everybody likes fonts. 900 megawatts, 1200 dpi color printer.
Gateway systems feature Intel Pentium processors. Call us and get one that's right for you.
Isn't that a pretty sight?
So how many miles? 50?
90. 90,000 miles. Shoot, that's just getting broke in for a Chevy.
Is that a scratch?
Scratches give character.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Women like character.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Whew, what'd you step in?
Batting third, playing center field, Mickey Mantle.
Watch Billy Crystal make the call. Watch Distant Replay now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, only on Classic Sports. You're watching the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
John, he pitched the first ball game in Los Angeles in this World Series. He's being caught by Steve Yeager once again. And Marty Springston of the American League bearing down. Watching John, the way his ball moves, he's never umpired a game that John has pitched in, I don't think.
Tony, the point we made in the first game, Tommy John opening out at Dodger Stadium in game number 1, he had a National League umpire behind home plate. Today he's got an American League umpire, and John, obviously with the sinker, dead. Low ball pitcher. Got to get the low strike to be effective. This could, that American League umpire could make a difference in this game to Tommy John.
As it's a strike, the first base umpire, he said, look at Blair, he said it all. Frank Pulley said, that's enough. I'm not talking no more. You saying he's not going to get the low strike today?
Did you see that pitch?
I differ with you. I want to talk more to you about this.
2 strikes.
Bobby Mercer, other guys who've gone from the American League to the National League, have said it's still about the same, about 50-50. You've still got some umpires who are basically low ball umpires or breaking ball umpires or high ball or inside or outside. I think it's the individual umpire more than the league.
Base hit. Nobody will get Blair on a ball like that. He's got the base hit, but he's still talking with Pulley for that strike.
Here's an example of a sinker. Bob Blair hits the ball right down into the ground with a very good speed. Yeager has no chance on this play. Just pick it up, give it back to the pitcher, go to the second hitter, Roy White.
Joe, I thought Davey Lopes made an interesting observation when Tommy John pitched the great ball game against Philadelphia in the championship series. That was an artificial surface in Philadelphia. Lopes said, I would rather have, there's Davey, rather have Tommy John an artificial surface because you always get a true hop. Here you don't know what's going to happen.
There goes Blair. Lopes' only play is the first base. White is out, but he moves the runner along. So there's one away, and it brings up Thurman Munson. Munson is 2 for 12.
So Bob Lemon continues to start base runners. He's done it almost all series long when the score has been close or he's been ahead. With Randolph out with a bad leg, he's one of the base-stealing threats. Rivers out, he knows he's going to have to start runners because he doesn't have the steal threat anymore.
Outfield is not very deep for Munson. Out of play. look very shallow to me as you look at him. Look how close North is in second base.
I've got to believe the scouting report has gotten around about Munson's shoulder. Even though he hit that real long drive in the championship series in this ballpark to left center against Kansas City.
Here's the throw. They're going to get him. They got him.
Oh, did he block it?
He blocked it beautifully. Once that ball took one hop, that was a room service throw by Reggie Smith. Catchers love that. He just put the block on him, and Blair was out. A beautiful throw, a great tag.
You made a good point, Joe, when you talked about the outfield playing a little more shallow. Blair does not cut the base well. He goes toward the dugout, and Yeager puts that left foot right there, gives him the shin guard, takes the plate away. I'll tell you what, he's taking more of the plate away than most catchers do. He got away from it, just jammed Paul Blair up. Great throw.
Most of the time, watch this throw, most of the time they'll give you half the plate, but that one hopper, his leg is taking all the plate away, and Blair could not get in unless he bowled him over. And he chose not to, and it was a kind of a tag that catchers love to make. So there are 2 outs, and here is Reggie Jackson. That's a dangerous way to stand there when you got those big guys coming in. Somebody like that Dave Parker would hit you like the 515 leaving Grand Central. Inside to Reggie Jackson. 2 balls, no strikes. Munson's at first. 2 outs, no score. We've had 2 real good plays so far. There's the strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. For the 4th game, it'll be Jim Beattie against Burt. The 5th game, Beattie against Hooten. That's 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be right here.
Joe, in the first ball game, there was one series, or one time at bat, that Tommy John pitched Reggie high and tight, which is unusual for John. He usually stays down. I wonder if he'll do it in Yankee Stadium with that short fence in right field.
Watch for it. Crank up. Now you go to pitching, you can't go to throwing.
He had 2 shots at him, Joe. He was 2-0, and now it's 3-1. Anytime you give good hitters a chance to hit with those counts, you got to be in trouble.
Pulled it foul. Now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 1st, no score.
Better remind Reggie, the runner's going to be going here now.
That's right. It broke his concentration last time. Garvey drops way back. There he goes. Bouncing ball to Garvey. Take it himself. That ends the inning. So at the end of 1 complete inning, it's the Dodgers nothing, the Yankees nothing.
You're watching Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports. Legends of the Fall is brought to you by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
If I ran the post office, there'd be a way to send paperwork and merchandise overseas that gets attention. Something that says openly, I'm important. But it's gotta save money, real money, and go to all my key markets. Plus it would have value, be reliable, and fast.
Global Priority Mail. It's happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
We all reside in a place where people can reach us at 3 in the morning. We gotta get out of that place. And a celebrity cruise can get us out of that place. Celebrity Cruises, exceeding expectations. Awarded 5 stars by Fieldings and the top premium cruise line rating by Berlitz.
Want to build customer loyalty? We've got customer loyalty. We've got sports nuts, movie lovers, infomaniacs, and cartoon fanatics. We've got networks that talk to moms, teens, men, kids. From Main Street to Madison Avenue, more advertisers are turning to cable. Want to build your brand of business? Check out our brand of TV. Cable TV. America's sold on cable.
To advertise your business locally, call Cable Rep Advertising at 660-0500.
We're not slackers.
We are fighters.
We're not spoiled.
But we have many gifts.
We are not wild.
We're just crazy about life. We are not filled with hate.
We're filled with hope. We're not the problem.
We are the future.
We're not Generation X.
We are Generation Excellent.
Tonight, the Ultimate World Series continues on Classic Sports Network with the best games 1 through 7 in World Series history. First at 10, it's Game 5 of the 72 series as Cincinnati's Big Red Machine with Rose, Bench, and Morgan battle Catfish Hunter and the A's in a down-to-the-wire battle. Then it's the best Game 3 as the Reds trade homers with Boston's Fisk, Carbo, and Lynn, featuring one of the most controversial plays in series history tonight on Classic Sports Network. We now return to Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Neither team scored in the second, and the Yankees' defense sparkled in the third when Greg Nettles robbed Davey Lopes of extra bases. Now, after a 40-minute rain delay in the bottom of the third, the teams resumed play. Both starters, Tommy John and Ed Figueroa, were still in, and both survived mild threats in the fourth. Now, let's head back to a soggy Yankee Stadium for the top of the fifth. The game is still scoreless.
North fly to center field. His other time up. 1 ball. Billy North, the bunt threat, especially from the left side, runs so hard, as you saw earlier in the series when he made a double on Roy White. 1-1. Ed Figueroa, Tom, has been a little bit of a late bloomer, really, as a pitcher, hasn't he?
Seems to be even in this game today, Tony. He started. I didn't think he was pitching well at all early, getting behind the hitters, etc. In the last couple innings, he has been pretty sharp. Threw a lot. One inning, he threw real hard.
2 balls, 1 strike. Could be tough play for Dan. He's going to have to get it over in a hurry, but he does to get Bill North. A few balls we should get by that side of the infield, Greg Nettles.
I think Figueroa had a little extra. Watch North lose his balance when he swings. He's falling back, and he got a slow start. That ball had a little more on it than he thought.
So now it's Steve Yeager. No score in the ball game, just 5 hits. The Yankees have 3. We're in game number 4 of the 1978 World Series. The Dodgers lead it 2-1 over the Yankees. One ball. Tomorrow's pitchers, young right-hander Jim Beattie for the Yankees, a Dartmouth graduate, against another right-hander with a knuckle curve, Bert Hooton. 2 balls and no strikes to Yeager. Thurman Munson. See, another catcher, as most do, with that finger out, gives them that extra layer of padding for some hard throwers. They'll protect their hand. Could be trouble in right center field alley on the 2-0 pitch. Pinella's chasing it down. Yeager will try for 2. He'll get it easily. The relay comes in to Stanley, but Yeager holds up at second base. So the Dodgers have a threat with the leadoff hitter, Davey Lopes, coming up.
It's a problem again, Tony, of pitching behind, and we've talked about it for 3 innings, and I hate to beat a dead horse. Here's you see the drive by Yeager going between Paul Blair and Lou Piniella in right center field for an easy double. If you continue to pitch behind, and it's just a basic fundamental of pitching, and pitching is 95% of the game or 85% of the game, whatever percentage you choose to pick, but you have to stay ahead of the hitters. There's just no way to be successful in the long run if you don't.
Well, if inflation has hit pitching like everything else, it's 95%, Tom.
Dave Lopes with 1 out.
Like the point we made in the opening game out in Los Angeles. Pitching, you never have enough. Remember, you talked about the Yankees, right? You never have enough. And this is a club, like you said, just seemed to have more than enough.
Dave Lopes fly to right in the first inning. He lined the third baseman Nettles, who made a sensational play, robbing him of a double. 2 balls, no strikes to Lopes. No score in the ball game. We're in the top of the 5th.
There are many theories on pitching everybody talks about, but simply put, it's keeping the batter off stride and throwing strikes.
Yeager at second base for the Dodgers. 2-0 count on Lopes. No score. 3-0.
Last time Lopes was up there, it was 2 balls and no strikes. He hit that line drive down to the Nevels, remember?
Well, we'll have to see the way Lopes has been swinging the bat. 2 home runs in that first ball game of the World Series in L.A. if Tommy Lasorda let him go at it. He was taking 3-1. Threw a breaking ball, didn't he?
Yep.
3-0 breaking ball. First base is open. But Russell, there is Dick Tidrow. Allie Howard with the jacket. He missed outside, another slider or curveball. So the Dodgers have runners at second and one at first in Lopes, and it'll bring up Bill Russell. Figueroa one time belonged to the Mets, Tom, way back when, 1966.
Yes, he did. This is Figgy's 12th year in professional baseball. Started in the Mets organization in '66, and they released him in 1968. He was picked up by the Giants as a free agent, and he was traded. Spent some time in Vietnam.
Bill Russell with a runner in scoring position tops this one foul, 1 strike.
Giants, excuse me, Tony, the Giants traded him to the Angels along with Mickey Rivers. Came over to the Yankees for Bobby Bonds in 1975.
Lopes checking the surface as we look at Yeager now at the bottom of your screen, but Lopes was checking the area, the breakaway path around first base, see what kind of start he can get. 1 strike, 1 out. Chopper hits Russell, dead ball. So Russell drops way behind, no balls, 2 strikes to Figueroa. Davey Lopes, man who's played such inspired baseball in this World Series through the championship series. Davey, along with the rest of the Dodgers, have dedicated this World Series to the late Jim Gilliam. There's Bob Lemon. 2-strike count on Russell. He hits it deep to left field, but it is going to go foul, just barely.
Got that ball up, boy, and he went for the top limb.
Wasn't a good pitch, no balls and 2 strikes that Figgy just threw.
Figueroa is way ahead in the count, got the ball up in the strike zone. Wow, that's not a very good 0-2 pitch.
See, now after going high and tight, the old baseball axiom, now go low and away with a breaking ball. Let's see what Figueroa does. 2 men on for the Dodgers. Another fastball, bad pitch that Russell went after. He really cut it loose, got a little extra. So there are 2 outs. And now it'll bring up the dangerous Reggie Smith. Smith has walked. He was called out on strikes. No score in the ball game. Each team has 3 hits. Yeager's at second. Lopes is at first with 2 down. A little high, 1 ball. The outfield playing Reggie Smith very deep. Paul Blair has swung around just a shade toward right center field. He got a little one as a deep above. Manella to the warning track. 3-run home run for Smith. Reception that Lasorda will give to Reggie Smith. He usually leaves the pack out of the dugout. There's Tommy.
That ball looked low and inside. He really uppercuts it, and he stayed right with it in that perfect follow-through, and he knew it was gone. He's looking at it right now.
Steve Garvey. 2-0 to Garvey.
Davey Lopes get those great reactions out in Dodger Stadium. Watch him again. Here he goes. Yes, sir. He says, that's gone. That's 3 runs.
2 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa now getting some pitches up in the strike zone. Reggie Smith finds that short porch in right field attractive, as most left-handed hitters do. So there are 2 outs, a 3-1 count on Garvey. Make that 2-1. Dodgers lead 3-0. Check swing fouled off. 2-2. Reggie Smith, a man who entered the last part of the season, the Championship Series and World Series, with a bad virus. Started spreading it around other members of the club. He's been playing in a very much weakened condition. For a while, it looked like he got a little bit too far under that last pitch, but it sneaked in about 8 or 9 rolls in. Hit to right field. Piniella back to the warning track, but he's got it for the 3rd out, but not before the damage is done by Smith. A 3-run home run to put the Dodgers in the head. Go to the last of the 5th here at Yankee Stadium. The score, the Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. Chris Chambliss drew up for the Yankees in the 5th. Fred Stanley, and then the shortstop, Bucky Dent.
We'll be right back with more of Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
60 seconds to air.
All right, Nate, it's crunch time.
Madden on 2 wants to wish you luck.
Hello, Coach.
Hey, I love your show. You got the guys calling, yelling, hanging up on each other. Heck, you're due for a turkey leg.
Thanks, John. I'll take a side of mud with that.
Dale, car phone.
Hey, just want to remind you, it's a long show. Pace yourself.
Thanks, Intimidator. Sounds like you're running hot. Better hit the pits.
Hardaway on 4.
Yo, Bug.
Yo, man, if the show's slow, give me a call. I'll bring it.
Oh, I know. No one carves hardwood and brings rain like you. It's Puree.
Hey, друг, удачи тебе. До свидания.
Da. Спасибо, я постараюсь. Hey, what happened to line 1?
It was the press. I told him to call you back after the show. You're on in 3, 2, 1.
All right, sharpen your tongue, strap on your game face. Time for some Smash Mouth Sports Talk. The number's 1-888-MY-HOUSE. Gentlemen, start your speed bells. It's showtime, baby. Who wants the ball? EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's challenging. That's what I love about it. I trust my instincts.
It's different running your own business.
My work is everything. It's pure adrenaline.
Every decision comes down to you. It takes confidence. Gives me a sense of pride.
It calls on resources you never knew you had. Like the gold corporate card from American Express.
Call now and apply right over the phone.
Because control is in the details. You get quarterly reports by category.
It simplifies bookkeeping.
Small business savings like 3% off mobile gas, 10% off UPS overnight delivery, up to 15% off Hertz, and up to 25% off Hilton hotels.
It adds up.
And we put your company's name on the card because you are the company.
I like what it says
People
about it.
recognize it. It's the best card to have.
Every day, more than 1 million small business owners rely on the corporate card. See how it can help you.
It's hard to do business without it.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS now.
We'll take your application right over the phone.
The Gold Corporate Card. Let American Express give your business the power to do more.
Strike up the band, college football fans. Classic Sports is giving you a reason for celebration with the greatest games and players in the history of higher education. All the traditions, all the legends, and all the passion. Every Friday night, it's Smash Mouth in your face football. So hit the books and look up the words Dynasty, Intensity, and Hail Mary. Phi Beta football, it's a rush. Catch Miami and Florida State in an 87 clash Tuesday at 8 on Classic Sports Network. You're watching the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Going into the bottom of the 5th, the Yankees trailed by 3 runs and were in danger of falling behind 3-1. But the Yankees had been down before, and they fought their way through it. And, Gary, when I use the word fought for that particular time, that's the perfect word.
Well, it's very true because there was a lot of feuding going on throughout the season. Billy Martin, Reggie Jackson, George Steinbrenner, and to the extent where actually Billy Martin was forced to resign. I mean, you could call it a firing, but he ended up ultimately resigning. And then Bob Lemon took over and led the ball club to a 1-game playoff, the famous Bucky Dent game. And under Lemon, the team kind of gelled together, and there was some reinforcements with the pitching staff and the rest of the guys on the team. And Bob Lemon, they were 48-20 the rest of the way.
Bob Lemon came in there and just let the guys play. He put some guys that catfish went back in rotation and the whole thing, and the calming effect. So a manager really is almost like I hate to say this, but a dignified babysitter.
Well, dignified, and has to be a diplomat too, because you got 25 personalities you have to deal with, and a guy like Reggie Jackson, who's a guy that's a player for the dramatic. Yeah,
right,
exactly. So it's tough to deal with one guy, let alone 25.
But they were right in the thick of it. Let's rejoin the game now in the bottom of the fifth as the Yankees were trying to battle back from a 3-0 deficit. But first, here's my old broadcast partner, the great Kurt Gowdy.
Been down here in the stands. I've been back at home plate. I must have had 100 people, Tony, come up and ask me, where is Billy Martin? Billy Martin is in his apartment right now watching this game, and he's been watching a series on television. He said he didn't want to come to Yankee Stadium because it might be a distraction to the players. He's very unhappy with a report in a New York paper that he called Figueroa a gutless pitcher. He sent Figueroa a congratulations telegram on his 20th win, said he's all for him, and he wanted to clear that matter up. But Billy Martin will not be at the stadium during the series. He's home at his apartment watching it. And hundreds of fans around here have been asking me where he is. That's where he is. Okay, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Kurt. It's Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent. Popped up, Yeager out in front of home plate. 1 out. That telegram that Kurt referred to, Billy said, I guess he was on a hunting trip in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and he congratulated Ed Figueroa for his 20-game season. He said, I'm proud of you. I congratulate you. I know your countrymen, your fellow Puerto Ricans are proud of you because he became the first native-born Puerto Rican to win 20 games in the major leagues. So the purported feud between the two apparently has been overly exaggerated. 1 out, Stanley. He's flying to center field. Dodgers lead 3-0. Ball 1. One and 1 pitch to Stanley. Tommy John now runs the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and I noticed when he came out of the dugout, Tom, that he was limping quite a bit. We showed that shot of his left leg, a little chopper. Good single, tough hop for Say. Good off-balance throw to get Stanley. Fine play by Ronnie Say.
Tremendous play on both ends. It was a do-or-die play because he gets the in-between hop. He charges it here, tried to get it on the fly. He doesn't make it. Watch his play. It's a short hop, and now as he regains his balance, watch the stretch by Garvey. And not only is he stretch, he gets the glove out there. Here's another angle on it. That was a tough play, Tony.
You can see right there the way Say got started, that although he is not that fast, he was very quick. That first step was off like a sprinter. 1 ball, no strikes to Dent. Dent has a single in the ball game. Ground ball again. Nice play by Ron Say. He's stealing some of Greg Nettles' thunder to get Bucky Dent. So 2 consecutive fine plays by the Dodger third baseman Ron Say helps Tommy John. So 5 are gone here in Yankee Stadium. The Dodgers lead over the Yankees 3-0.
You're watching Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
What goes on inside the brain of a pitcher like John Smoltz? How does he tune out 50,000 screaming fanatics? How does he stay focused with a runner on first who does the 40 and 4-4 and a 342 hitter at the plate? You see, all Smoltz thinks about is this imaginary tunnel with a 2-inch leather target at the end. And there's only one sound that can break his concentration.
Strike 3!
Get into the game with Sports Illustrated's all-out football blitz. 3 great gifts, plus the very best in college and pro football coverage every week in the pages of SI. With SI's Football Blitz, you'll get this exclusive Sports Illustrated football sweatshirt and the fantastic new video, NFL Throwbacks, both free with your paid subscription. Use your credit card and get a free bonus gift, this limited edition SI Sports Watch. All 3 are free, an incredible jam-packed offer that you'll want to grab for yourself or a friend.
Knock 'em out, knock 'em out.
SI's Football Blitz gives you more football than ever before, starting with SI's rugged heavyweight football sweatshirt that gets you ready for any game. It's extra large for extra comfort and features a one-of-a-kind Sports Illustrated football logo. It's a great-looking sweatshirt you can't get anywhere else. Your NFL Throwbacks video traces a line of football superstars, from Gale Sayers to Barry Sanders, from Joe Namath to Brett Favre. Player by player, position by position, you'll see the torch of greatness passed from one generation to the next. Call now. Don't miss out on SI's Football Blitz. It's yours free when you order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 57% off the cover price. Use your credit card and we'll also send you an SI Sports Watch with a genuine leather band free. Give the gift of football the SI way with a Sports Illustrated football sweatshirt and the great new football video NFL Throwbacks, both free. Use your credit card and get an SI Sports Watch as a free bonus. SI's Football Blitz. It makes a great gift any time of year. Free from Sports Illustrated and nowhere else. Get into it.
Tonight, the Ultimate World Series continues on Classic Sports Network with the best games 1 through 7 in World Series history. First at 10, it's Game 5 of the 72 series as Cincinnati's Big Red Machine with Rose, Bench, and Morgan battle Catfish Hunter and the A's in a down-to-the-wire battle. Then it's the best Game 3 as the Reds trade homers with Boston's Fisk, Carbo, and Lynn, featuring one of the most controversial plays in series history tonight on Classic Sports Network. We now return to Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Dick Tidrow replaced Ed Figueroa in the top of the 6th and got the Dodgers out pretty easily. Now, as we head to the bottom of the 6th, the Dodgers were ahead 3-0. And due up for the Yankees, Paul Blair, Roy White, and Thurman Munson.
The fans are starting to hoot and holler for the Yankees. Paul Blair, Roy White, Thurman Munson to face Tommy John, who's riding a shutout into the last of the 6th. Allowed just 3 hits. Say creeping in. Did he check? No, he didn't. Marty Springstead calls the breaking ball a strike. Blair has singled on a hit and run. He got as far as third base off the bat of Munson, who singled to right. He's also popped up to short. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Blair, an excellent bunter. In fact, sometime during our game of the week, Joe Garagiola has gone up to him and said, "Paul, why don't you bunt for us?" And he's bunt and beat it out in situations. Made Joe look good. Top foul.
He just takes good direction. I'll tell you, he's an underrated player.
Oh,
defensively, we know what he can do, but he's a pretty good hitter, and he does a lot of things to get on base, move runners around. When he makes an out, usually he'll move a runner, and he's a good player. I like him.
He got a big base hit in the championship series last year against Kansas City, the 5th game. Good snapping breaking ball from John. He gets Paul Blair, and they bring up Roy White.
You know, Tony, last night the story was Greg Nettles. Here again today. It's been Tommy John. Last time he pitched, of course, was the opening game of the World Series against the Dodgers. With 7 2/3 innings, they have 8 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, and he shut the Yankees out until the 7th inning. And here we are on the bottom of the 6th. He's given up only 3 hits and no runs.
He jumps ahead of Roy White. 1 strike. That's a tough pitch right there. That's the one where he starts it about a foot outside and he kind of comes around the plate and catches the outside corner. 2 strikes on White. Another one, he really snapped.
You know, he just pugs along. He just goes along and he goes along and he throws his strikes and low strikes, ground ball, ground. They get a couple of hits, another ground ball out of the inning. It seems to upset him.
There's the sinker ball off the end of Roy White's bat.
He's one of those fellas, if you saw him on the sidelines throwing, you'd say, as we look at Bob Lemon, you'd say he doesn't have that good a fastball, but his fastball's alive, and it isn't the speed, it's where you put it.
Moving on the ball and where you put it. Another ground ball, Russell just out of his reach. So White's on with 1 out for the Yankees, and the big guys are coming up. The money players, Munson, and then Jackson, should he do something?
You know, Tony, there's 3 elements. We were talking about where you put it. Joe's good comment. There's velocity, there's movement, there's location. And Tommy John is the prime example of the one thing that you need least of those 3 elements is the velocity. If you've got movement and location, on your fastball, you can be a winning pitcher in the big leagues. And Tommy John, Randy Jones is another prime example of that fact.
I know, Tom, when you talk movement, you're not just talking sinking, sailing, taking off. You're also talking change of speeds.
That's exactly right.
So 1 out. Munson's up. White's in first. The Yankees down by 3. A nice stop by Yeager. There's no one throwing at this time in the Dodger bullpen, but we see some stirring. A telephone call, I believe, is just being made. One ball, no strikes on Thurman. Chopped it. Another good sinker ball. 1-1. I said earlier that I didn't think Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire, had been behind the plate with Tommy John. And of course, Tommy John was in the American League, started off with the Cleveland Indians, then went to the White Sox. Springstead told me during the rain delay, yes, I had been behind the plate a couple of times with Tommy. But he said, really, he's changed. He said, that's why I've studied him so hard in his warm-up pitches. He sinks more, and he's got a better curveball. 2-1 to Thurman. About 60,000 people in Yankee Stadium for game number 4 of the 1978 World Series. The Dodgers lead it 2-1 over the Yankees. That's in World Series games. Right here, they lead by the score of 3-0 over the Yankees. Change speeds a little bit on the sinker. 2-2.
He'll do that too, Tony. That's another good point. The sinker is not the same speed all the time. I think you've got it, and you'll throw it a little bit harder. The first pitch he threw to Munson this time up, he popped pretty good inside. Then he'll throw the sinker, and he'll throw the sinker a little bit slower, too. You never really get the timing down on his pitches.
Big pitch for John. Fouled off by Thurman Munson. Thurman, one of the best players in the American League, to go the other way. Reggie Jackson on deck. Should Thurman Munson keep something going? With just 1 out, Munson has been known to hit with some double plays. He wants time. I think he wants to have Tommy John wipe off. Wipe that hand off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2. Terry Forster, the left-hander for the Dodgers, the hard thrower, the man with a hard slider. In game 1, he relieved Tommy John. Another former White Sox player. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. White's at first, Munson the hitter. The Yankees trail by 3. We're in the last of the 6th. He won.
We've got 1 3-run home run by Reggie already today, and it's obvious by the reaction of the fans here in Yankee Stadium what they're after.
Tom Lasorda looking on a little worriedly along with Red Adams, the pitching coach. 1 out. White's at second. Munson is at first. Jackson represents the tying run in the last of the 6th. Reggie grounded out and struck out so far. One ball. Curveball, 1-1 to Reggie.
That was a great shot of Tommy John as he looked at second and then looked at Jackson. You could see him grit his teeth. He was going to throw that for a strike where he wanted it. A good study of concentration. Watch him.
Tillman on, 1-1 pitch. Got him high and tight. Reggie has gone to a little bit shorter back on Tommy John because he expects the ball in here, but he swings right through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reggie. Look at the reaction from Yeager. Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. Drill, base hit, almost gets Thurman Munson. White will score. It's 3-1. Jackson keeps it going. They're 2 men out. It's Lou Piniella. Lasorda's going to make a trip out.
Tony John's been keeping the ball in on Reggie real well all day. He got that ball out over the middle of the plate. Reggie had a good swing in it, pulled it right in the hole, and the Yankees are on the scoreboard.
There it is, a typical home run swing, but he topped the ball a little bit. He shot a bullet through the infield, and Thurman Munson might, I'm saying might, have been able to go to third base if he did not almost get hit by the ball and almost go to his knees. So Lasorda leaves. He's going to stick with Tommy John. There is Rick Roden, number 36. He has joined Terry Forster, the left-hander. So Piniella's up. He's grounded to third twice. It's a 3-1 ball game, Dodgers. But the Yankees have been on first and second base. Very dramatic moment in Yankee Stadium once again. 1 ball. Munson at second for the Yankees. Reggie Jackson at first. He's had an RBI in every game in this series. 4 games, 6 RBIs. Drill, right at Russell, he dropped the ball. Are they going to get 2? There, he threw it away. Going to hit Reggie. Hit Reggie. Confusion on the bases. Here comes Munson. He's going to score for the second run. There's a lot of confusion. The ball hit Russell's glove. It then hit the ground. Reggie Jackson was forced out, but then on a throw, that was the second out of the inning. On the throw to first base, they're saying the ball hit Reggie. It is a complicated play because Reggie is out of the play, and yet the ball might have hit him, scooted away, allowing Munson to score. That is Frank Pulley, the first base umpire in blue. He's with the National League. Joe Brinkman, the umpire from second base. He is in scarlet, and Lasorda wants a ruling. The entire Dodger team. Here it is, Joe.
Russell, now there's the force on Jackson right there, so Jackson's out of the play, and it hits him. He's right in line, and Jackson is thoroughly confused. He's still at first base. He doesn't know what to do. Piniella is entitled to the base unless they rule interference. Now here's the ball again. It's hit to Russell, who knocks it down. And now he steps on the back, forces Jackson. You saw the umpire motion safe. I'm sure it was on the ball that was hit. Nothing else, and they've got a meeting out there. Looks like an election coming up. There's so many people between first and second.
Now, a summit meeting out there is what they've got. Almost every Dodger's around there and all the umpires.
Look at that. Everybody is reaching for the ball, and finally,
I'll tell you what,
into it.
He let it hit him purposely, and I've got to believe they're going to, well, I don't know what they're going to do, but if it is ruled intent, I think, we'll have to check the rule, I think that they could rule that runner out as he intentionally looked like he got in the way.
He was leaning, there's no doubt. We'll run it again, and you'll make up your mind. And Lasorda is really upset, and you can't say that you blame him.
It doesn't take much to light his fuse, but what he was saying will not get him invited to the Holy Name meeting, I'll tell you that. He was mad.
Yes, he was, and he had every right to be because, we talked about the Ed Armbrister interference call. Now, I really believe that Reggie stuck his hip out there.
Well, now, we're going to take another look at that, and we'll see what happens here because there's a few things. How about Bill Russell? Did he intentionally drop the ball?
See, that's where it should have been stopped right away because Joe Brinkman, the umpire at second base, he should have called it dead right there because Bill Russell, I mean, as blatantly as you can see it, kind of swiped at the ball and had it go toward second base.
Okay, we'll take another look at it and we'll make a decision on that. Now there's Russell. He steps on second. Now,
but you see the call there, like there's no catch, and there's the Jackson hip.
Now, the tip-off to me is his right foot. Now, you just barely saw it there. On the replay, take a good look at his right foot, how it's turned like he was turning into the ball. Now, here's the line drive.
Well, you can see there, that ball should have been caught, and Russell just slaps it down, goes to step on second. Thurman Munson, in the meantime, was tagging up, and the right foot turned, And Reggie Jackson, he knew what he was doing, Joe, for crying out loud. He stuck his hip out there to cause the ball to go by Garvey and allow Thurman Munson to score.
If he gets called out, fine, but he took a chance that they wouldn't call it, and
Exactly.
they didn't call it. Look at his foot right there.
Yeah,
See
he's way off of first base. There's no way that he would have been able to get back to first base. It would have been a double play ball.
And Lasorda, I must say this, chewing that tobacco, is the only time I saw him do this. The worst thing about that whole play, and talking to Frank Pulley, I bet Pulley came up looking like he had measles. He was spitting all over him for crying out loud. Oh, man, what a play that was, but Reggie got away with it. Hey, Dick Tidrow and Tommy Johns really breezed through the seventh inning. Now, when we return, we'll rejoin the game in the top of the eighth with the Dodgers still leading 3-2. But first, let's hear what Tommy Lasorda had to say about that Reggie play.
We'll be right back with more of Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
NHL 98 asking who melts ice. Take a shot.
Line 4.
Buret, the Rocket Man.
Yeah, he's off the eye chart. Show him the bye-bye stride. Ta-ta, Mr. Autobahn. Line 3.
How about that Zamboni guy, eh? He's pretty good, eh?
No. A. Mike from Sin City.
Beezer is a blur.
Splits, hit splits. Nobody rides for free. Oh, at 10 from the Russian judge. 1-888-MY-HOUSE. Talking who's who of Mach 2 and dropping off D. NHL 98, the ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Look, I'm in the stock market for one reason, to make money. I pick the stocks, I make the decisions, so all I want from a broker is a low fee. At Trading Direct, it's just $9.95 per transaction up to 5,000 shares. $9.95, and there's no minimum to open an account. And they don't have any hidden costs, like mail or processing fees, no phone charges. They don't nickel and dime you to death. $9.95 covers everything. You see, Trading Direct is the electronic division of York Securities. York has been a member of the New York Stock Exchange and SIPC since 1979. That's important to me. And since my transactions are totally electronic, I get to place my order whenever I want. Not exactly a disadvantage. So I'm not sitting on hold while my stock is moving. Trading is fast, secure. Listen, I'm not paying for an image. I'm paying for results. And with Trading Direct, I get it for $9.95. You should give them a call or visit their website. I'm here to tell you I'm the best teammate you've ever had.
Watch Kirk Gibson go to bat. Watch Distant Replay, now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, only on Classic Sports. Tonight, the Ultimate World Series continues on Classic Sports Network with the best games 1 through 7 in World Series history. First at 10, it's Game 5 of the 72 series as Cincinnati's Big Red Machine with Rose, Bench, and Morgan battle Catfish Hunter and the A's in a down-to-the-wire battle. Then it's the best Game 3 as the Reds trade homers with Boston's Fisk, Carbo, and Lynn, featuring one of the most controversial plays in series history tonight on Classic Sports Network. You're watching the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Here's Garvey. Strike one. Tidrow came on in his 6th, and he has struck out 3. He's allowed 2 hits. One ball, 1 strike.
Well, I've been surprised watching Garvey through this series, and championship series, he swings at quite a few bad pitches.
He'll swing at a lot of pitches, bad breaking pitches down in the dirt, Tony. Ever since Lasorda wanted him to try and hit the home run ball, you know, he's become much more aggressive.
There's his strike. In fact, I asked one of the Dodger pitchers, one of their starters, in fact, I won't reveal his name, how he'd pitch Garvey, and he said, I would never throw him a strike. Throw him fastballs up out of the strike zone and the breaking ball down low around, you know, mid-calf.
1-2 pitch. Left field. White has room. 1 out.
Of course, as good as Garvey is, he would adjust sooner or later and get his 200 hits and drive in his 100 runs.
That's why I was looking at you.
Theory.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
I think I'd pitch him up and way and bad balls from the bench too. But in the batter's box, I'd be a little careful because I think Garvey could hit 280 with just his arms.
You know, you try that, Tony. You're exactly right, too. You try that throwing, and he'll just sit there and wait till he gets 3-0, 3-1. Then you got to throw a strike, or else just walk him all day.
Ron Say takes it outside, ball 1.
You can't do that. Say coming up, Baker coming up. Those guys can pop one on you at any time. You know, he's going to make you throw strikes to him sooner or later.
Pull foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Outside corner. Tidrow is really hitting those corners. In the 8th inning, it'll be Blair, White, and Munson for the Yankees. 1-2 pitch. Hot smash. Greg Nettles has it. 2 outs.
Well, an interesting shot of Nettles feeling that ball because he has been so great on balls left and right. But this is the toughest one of all. Watch this. One hit right at you. You have no perspective, no side view. You cannot tell the bounce is what kind of option. You can't judge the speed of the ball. And every infielder will tell you the one right straight at me is the toughest. And you can see how he battled that more than even the line drives down the line or in the hole.
You know, Tony, you made the point earlier about the infield being rough in here after the Yankees had clinched the American League pennant from the Kansas City Royals. The people, of course, here in New York streamed on, tore up a lot of the infield. They had to replace some of the infield grass around the home plate area and around the pitcher's mound as well.
1-0 pitch. 1-1 the count. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2, 2 outs. 8th inning. Tidrow in relief of Figueroa. We had a 40-minute rain delay. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There it is. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Foul. Boy, this is one of those games, Tom, that Wes Western used to call a cliff dweller.
Right. Well, that's my first manager in the major league, the New York Mets, in 1967, too.
Great guy, old Wesley. Just catcher with the Giants.
Scouting now for the Giants, isn't he?
I think so.
Been in that organization a long time.
1-2 pitch now to Dusty Baker. It's a 4th strikeout for Tidrow. He's kept the Yankees close. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Los Angeles 3, Yankees 2. It'll be Blair, White, Munson for the Yankees.
You're watching Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
It's time for Bernie Williams to get into the batter's box and face a rock-hard ball coming at him from just 60 feet 6 inches away. Battling sinkers, sliders, curves, knucklers, changeups, forkballs, fastballs, and the occasional brushback. But Bernie doesn't sweat it. Hey, he's got a whole 1/10 of a second to react.
It's challenging. That's what I love about it. I trust my instincts.
It's different running your own business.
My work is everything. It's pure adrenaline.
Every decision comes down to you. Takes confidence. Gives me a sense of pride.
It calls on resources you never knew you had. Like the Gold Corporate Card from American Express.
Call now and apply right over the phone.
Because control is in the details. You get quarterly reports by category.
It simplifies bookkeeping.
Small business savings like 3% off mobile gas, 10% off UPS overnight delivery, up to 15% off Hertz, and up to 25% off Hilton hotels.
It adds up.
And we put your company's name on the card because you are the company.
I like what it says
People
about it.
recognize it. It's the best card to have.
Every day, more than 1 million small business owners rely on the corporate card. See how it can help you.
It's hard to do business without it.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS now.
We'll take your application right over the phone.
The Gold Corporate Card. Let American Express give your business the power to do more.
Classic Sports Network presents This Day in Classic Sports, October 20th, 1993. I am my brother's keeper after this.
What if you could collect life's greatest moments? If you could just hang on to them and not let any slip away? And what if every time you remembered them, they were just as vivid, just as great? On Classic Sports Network, memories don't pass you by, nor are they carted off and filed away. They're front and center, and even sideways. Classic Sports Network, the only network where once-in-a-lifetime moments happen 24 hours a day.
October 20th, 1993, skating in his 1,052nd game and for the first time against brother Brent, superstar Wayne Gretzky scores his usual 3, leading LA to victory over Tampa Bay. Tune in every day for This Day in Classic Sports.
We now return to Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
So the scene is set, and Paul Blair, who beat out a bunt in the first inning, and he was thrown out at the plate on a fine play by Reggie Smith as he tried to score. Yeager made a fine tag, so Blair 1 for 3. Say is even with the bag. Blair can bunt, likes to bunt. Ball 1.
Now Joe is right on the line, so is Darby. They're protecting against the double late in the ball game. Strike.
2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Strike 2. Blair doesn't believe it.
It's tough for a hitter once you make that move in a bunt situation. He was going to try. You can see by that head going up and down, you lose perspective of the strike zone.
There's a base hit. Tying run is on.
Lasorda's on his way out. Red Adams on the telephone to the bullpen. Terry Forster's down there. Roy White, the man up, is a switch hitter. With no outs, a man on first. It's an obvious bunt situation.
They're making sure, though, Tony, because White and Hauser are having a meeting along the third base line, which is just now broken up as Lasorda is out there talking to Tommy John. There's Hauser walking back to his coaching box. That's Terry Forster. So, 3-2, tying run is on. Paul Blair. Springstead went out there in the pregame show. Lasorda asked McSherry what he would do. I wonder if he asked Springstead.
There's young Welsh. He's called for Force, though, I believe. He raised the left hand, Marty Springstead.
Tommy John pitched 7 2/3 innings in his win in game number 1. Here he has pitched 7 And Paul Blair in the bottom of the 8th, a single, the tying run is on.
Forster came in to relieve Tommy John in game number 1. He struck out 3.
So Tommy John waits for the new pitcher. You look at Steve Yeager. We got a break in the action. We'll be right back after these messages. I know you'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Hey, Sam, listen, I'm nervous about the Mulligan presentation. I mean, how are we going to print out all those color pages, scan in those color logos, capture that frame of video, fax a proof, and make all those color copies? High five. Forget golf today, pal.
The Brother MFC 7000, the total color solution, with all the color versatility you need exactly when you need it.
Sam, it's me again. We've only got 2 more hours. I hope everything's under control. Sam, why aren't you picking up? Sam? Sam!
You protected your face all night. Why stop in the locker room? The Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
Luminator lights up the night. Get 2 flashing wristbands free with your paid order for Luminator Light Up Football and Luminator Light Up Sport Ball. These puppies don't just glow in the dark. They light up like a bulb for super bright light up action long after other balls are left in the dark. Light emitting diodes powered by replaceable battery buried deep within safe soft foam provide hours of light up throwing and catching, dribbling and shooting, serving and spiking, passing and kicking. Luminator Light Up foam balls are soft enough for indoor play, but tough enough for serious outdoor action. Call the number on your screen to get Luminator Light Up Football and Light Up Sport Ball with 2 Luminator wristbands free with your paid order. And don't forget to ask about our new Luminator Light Jam Light Up Basketball Set. Batteries not included. All Luminator products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Have your credit card ready. Operators are standing by. You must be 18 or older to order. Sorry, no CODs. Luminator Light Up Sports. Leave all other games in the dark. From Kid Power.
They were one of the greatest teams in football history, a dynasty lasting 9 seasons. Who is this legendary powerhouse?
Hi, I'm Tom Brookshire. And I'm Pat Summerall.
Every Wednesday night, review a classic week of games from the 1960s and 70s as Pat and Tom profile the toughest matchups and key players. Plus,
we'll be showing you all the best pro football action. I'll say no more.
Watch This Week in Pro Football, Wednesday at 10, only on Classic Sports.
You're watching the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
You're looking at Terry Forster, indicating here comes a slider. Really comes at you. Forster relieved Tommy John in game number 1. He struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced. He struck out pinch hitter Cliff Johnson, Rivers, and Roy White. Paul Blair grounded to short.
Forster's got that real deadly slider, as you can see from those shots, all those 4 angles we had. He pitches off a very stiff leg. Game 2 he relieved as well, was not as effective now. He has a tender elbow, mechanically, because he does pitch off that stiff front leg. Puts a lot of pressure on his elbow. To stiffen up on him, get very tender and sore to pitch with. And never does he ever tell Red Adams, the pitching coach, that he can't pitch. He'll go out there and pitch till his arm breaks.
Roy White with Paul Blair, the tying run at first base. We're in the bottom of the 8th, nobody out. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Game 4. Tomorrow it's Beatty against Hooten, but right now it's Forster against White. Going to Garvey. Called him out. Marty Springstead made the decision. That's the reason I waited. And Pulley at first base waited for Marty Springstead, who called him out.
Good sacrifice by Roy White. Garvey, as you saw, had to hold the runner on. Frank Pulley was blocked out, and the call was made by the man who's supposed to make it before first base, Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire.
So the tying run is in scoring position, and Munson and Jackson are the hitters. Probably the 2 toughest hitters in this lineup. Munson single to right in the first. Walked in the fourth. He walked in the sixth. Outfield not too deep. This was a situation in the first. And Smith was able to get Blair at the plate. There is Jackson. Drama right now in that batter's box. Thurman Munson. That's out of play. Strike one. Munson, a busy kind of guy in that batter's box.
He's not just messing around straightening those gloves out. He calls himself a situation hitter. He's going over what he thinks that Forster will go with. Slider, fastball away.
Off his foot. That hit Munson in the foot. It is a foul ball. Munson fouled it off his foot. He went down. And it's strike two.
He doesn't need any more of these bumps or bruises. Probably was that slider that was moving down and in. The pitch that usually gets hit off the instep or the shin bone.
One out, two strikes. Tying run at second, Paul Blair. Forster in relief. Eighth inning. Munson is heading for second.
Tony, I think your observations about Thurman were exactly right. Now, he's been up there all day trying to go to right field, and he knows Forster's going to go inside to him with that slider and that hard stuff. He just turned those hips and pulled that ball right down that line, shot it into the corner. A two-base hit and drives in the run that ties up the score.
No balls, two strikes. Look what Thurman did.
Smart hitter. Smart player.
Not bad for a beat-up catcher, and you do get beat up.
Yeah, well, no question about it. Thurman Munson was an inspirational team leader for that ball club, and it's what's even more amazing is less than a year later, August 2nd of 1979, his life was taken tragically away in an airplane accident, and he was a pilot himself, and he was trying to land the plane, and it took his life. But Thurman Munson was quite a player.
You know, when you looked at him as a player, I mean, his throw was not picture perfect.
No.
Sometimes he sidearmed it, sometimes he almost underarmed it, but he got the man because of his quick release. He was the kind of a guy who led by doing. He didn't talk too much about it.
No, he really didn't, and he was very gutsy. I mean, he was banged up a lot throughout his career, and yet he kept going back behind that plate and doing a great job offensively and defensively. I mean, this guy was an MVP one year, and I just think of Thurman Munson as being one of those grinders, one of those guys that he was going to play. I mean, he was one of those gamers.
And he was a guy who looked for the chance to win a game or tie a game. He looked for that situation. He was not afraid to go into. A lot of guys will say, you know, I hope. He was not a hope kind of player.
No, not at all. He wanted to come up in game-winning situations and all, and he was one of those type of players, too, that he used all the field. He could hit the right field. He could hit a home run when he needed to, but he could do it all behind the plate.
It reminds me so much of a great line Casey Stengel once had in describing Moose Garland. Casey said he was a sarcastic hitter. He looked to left and hit to right. Perfect, perfect. With Munson on second, Reggie Jackson was hit by a pitch. Now, Tommy Lasorda came out, pulled Terry Forster in favor of rookie pitcher Bob Welch, who was dazzling in Game 2. When we return, we'll see if Welch can keep the Yankees from taking the lead.
You're watching Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports. This Classic Sports Network presentation is brought to you by Celebrity Cruises.
We all inhabit a place that frankly gets on our nerves. We gotta get out of that place. And a celebrity cruise can get us out of that place. Celebrity Cruises, exceeding expectations. Awarded 5 stars by Fieldings and the top premium cruise line rating by Berlitz.
If I ran the post office, there'd be a way to send paperwork and merchandise overseas that gets attention. Something that says, open me. I'm important. But it's gotta save money, real money. And go to all my key markets. Plus it would have value, be reliable, and fast.
Global Priority Mail. It's happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
NHL 98 asking who melts ice. Take a shot.
Line 4. Fury, the Rocket Man.
Yeah, he's off the eye chart. Show him the bye-bye strike. Ta-ta, Mr. Autobahn. Line 3.
How about that Zamboni guy, eh? He's pretty good, eh?
No. A. Mike from Sin City.
B, sir, is a blur.
Splits, hits, splits. Nobody rides for free. Oh, at 10 from the Russian judge. 1-888 My House. Talking who's who of Mach 2 and dropping off key. NHL 98, the ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
2 study years gone by, you could watch Truman's surprise win over Dewey in 1948. Or check out the surprise win of the Miracle Mets in the 1969 World Series. You could study Nixon's near-perfect sweep in the 1972 election. Or watch total perfection as the 72 Dolphins become the NFL's only undefeated team. If you see history a little differently, watch the Classic Years in Sports, Sunday and Thursday at 7, only on Classic Sports Network. Tonight, the Ultimate World Series continues on Classic Sports Network with the best games 1 through 7 in World Series history. First at 10, it's Game 5 of the 72 series as Cincinnati's Big Red Machine with Rose, Bench, and Morgan battle Catfish Hunter and the A's in a down-to-the-wire battle. Then it's the best Game 3 as the Reds trade homers with Boston's Fisk, Carbo, and Lynn, featuring one of the most controversial plays in series history, tonight on Classic Sports Network. We now return to Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Insurance running first. 1 out. There they are. '21-year-old Bob Welch. Foul back. He's 22 years old on November 3rd. Born in Detroit, lives in Ferndale. 6'3", 190 pounds. He pitched to 2 hitters with runners on first and second. The Dodgers leading 4-3. He got Munson to fly to right and struck out Jackson. This is the second series game. Outside, 1-1.
Got what he likes to hit. Fastballs.
Munson at second. Jackson is at first. Jackson trying to get a lead so he can take somebody out at second base if he has to. Ball 3. The on-deck batter is Greg Nettles. There he is. He had his pitch and he went for it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lou Piniella, 1 out. Score tied, 3 apiece. Munson at second. Jackson at first. Fouled it back. May have chased a bad ball, but in a spot like this, you don't get that selective.
You know, also, Joe, in a spot like that, you don't have much time to decide whether you're going to go after it or not. A guy who throws hard, you commit awfully early.
It's commit or be committed. youngster. Out of play. Foul ball. Count remains at 3-2.
Those are some tough pitches that Pinella's fouling off. That high fastball that's really taking off. One high and tight, another one just a little bit over the plate.
Same way that Jackson did in L.A., remember? 3-2, same way. Fought him off.
This kid is something, 21 years old. He's going to be 47 when the series is over. Popped up. Garvey's going out after it. Loops. Who's going to get it? Look out. They almost collide. Garvey makes the play. They rule infield fly.
First base umpire, Frank Pulley, waited till he was sure the ball was catchable within reason by the infielders and that it was going to be fair, and he called the infield fly. Pinella was automatically out.
And it's very difficult to hear anything in this ballpark. These fans are really hooting and hollering as Greg Nettles comes up. 2 outs. Score tied, 3 apiece. Bottom of the 8th. Nettles is bounced out to the second baseman. He's shortstopping again to the second baseman. There they are. Munson at second, Jackson at first. High ball one.
Talking about a fastball hitter, Tony. Here's another one that loves to swing at that fastball.
One right after the other in this Yankee lineup. You get from Munson on down through to Chambliss. Good fastball hitters.
Pulled it foul. That's way foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the 9th inning, it'll be Monday, North, and Yeager.
He knows what he's going to get here. Greg is pretty sure, as you see Munson at second base, Jackson over at first. He knows he's going to get a fastball. And watch his right knee. He'll cock that right knee and really try and turn on it. Watch Nettles' right knee.
High. 2-1.
Saying to himself, the ball's going to come in here hard. I'm going to swing hard. And he can turn on a fastball.
Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
He's getting out in front on a Welch fastball. Ball is about 6 inches inside. He still gets the big part of the bat. There's the timing device that a lot of hitters use. That right knee cock and the hand cock at times.
Dodger bench. Tense. Yankee bench. Tense. He wants a new series of signs. He wasn't sure. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, tied, 3-3, bottom of the 8th. Tiebreaker at second, Munson, Jackson's at first. He's going to make sure, and that's what a good pitcher does. You don't want to be so worried about the signs that you lose your concentration. I tell you, this kid has been able to get Munson, Jackson, and Pinella, all good hitters in tough situations, and now he's got Nettles.
Red Adams, the pitching coach, right now in this difficult situation for Welch, wants to clear it up once and for all.
I was going to say, Tony, I don't think what Yeager puts down now is going to mean anything. Red Adams is telling him what to throw on the next 2 pitches at least. There's no time to get brilliant. Now you got to go to firing.
Adams was telling us during the workout here before the first game in Yankee Stadium that Welch, as a starting pitcher, threw a lot of breaking balls. There's Lasorda, and that he does have a pretty good curveball. He doesn't have the confidence in it. Obviously, in this situation, you would think fastball.
Like a breaking ball, and he might have got it up. It was not his good fastball. It wasn't that swifty.
It's a slider of some kind, or a curveball that he threw awfully hard.
Something, either a changeup or whatever, a slider. Greg gets out. Looks like he hit it right on the end of his bat. He really went after it good, but he turned on it, pulled it foul. Looks like he hit it. Welch had him out front, hit it on the end of the bat.
See the body English there too, hitting the follow through, trying to keep it fair.
2-2, 2 outs. Foul ball, foul ball. Oh, man.
Got another one, don't we?
We're sitting up here with sweaty palms, and that shot of the dugout, Jay Johnstone was yawning. It wasn't exciting enough for him.
I tell you, you can't get excited here. You must run on batteries. Here we go again. Nettles against Welsh. Pinella fouled off a couple pitches. Now Nettles is fouling off pitches. Look at that bench. Red Adams, Lefebvre. That's Tidrow with the towel on his head. Bucky Dent. Bob Lemon. Struck him out. Bob Welsh strikes him out, and he'll get some reception when he goes into the bench. 21 years old on his birth certificate. 97 in his arm. He really came in a tough situation, and did he ever do a job? That ends it. Look at that. End of 8 innings. We're all tied. Dodgers 3, Yankees 3.
We'll be right back with more of Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Merlin is my name.
Hey! Excuse me. I didn't conjure you up. I know. So I'm back.
Describe Las Vegas in 4 words.
Fantastic, colorful, exciting, fairyland.
Do you like men in armor?
Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the magic carpet. Sorry I'm late.
Where have you been?
You wouldn't believe it.
Every time we come back, it's something new.
America's favorite playground. Can I keep them?
Come on, give it up for Las Vegas!
It's challenging. That's what I love about it. I trust my instincts.
It's different running your own business.
My work is everything. It's pure adrenaline.
Every decision comes down to you. It takes confidence. Gives me a sense of pride.
It calls on resources you never knew you had. Like the gold corporate card from American Express.
Call now and apply right over the phone.
Because control is in the details. You get quarterly reports by category.
It simplifies bookkeeping.
Small business savings like 3% off mobile gas, 10% off UPS overnight delivery, up to 15% off Hertz, and up to 25% off Hilton hotels.
It adds up.
And we put your company's name on the card because you are the company.
I like what it says
People
about it.
recognize it. It's the best card to have.
Every day, more than 1 million small business owners rely on the corporate card. See how it can help you.
It's hard to do business without it.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS now.
We'll take your application right over the phone.
The Gold Corporate Card. Let American Express give your business the power to do more.
New York Mets are amazing, 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 amazing.
I'll show you what a real champion is. I'll show you what a real champion is. Gives to Amici. The Cubs are the world champions.
Hey, out of here! It's gone! It's 7:15!
The winner, Sugar Ray Leonard.
You're watching the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
In the top of the ninth, the Yankees brought in their fireballer Goose Gossage, who gave up a walk and then retired the next 3 batters. In the bottom of the ninth, the Yankees were again frustrated by Bob Welch, who struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. And we now return to Yankee Stadium for extra innings, and the score's tied 3 apiece.
We've got a new second baseman for the Yankees. Brian Doyle has gone in. There you see him. And Bill Russell, who is 2 for 4, leads it off. Center field, Paul Blair should have no problem. 1 out. Brings up Reggie Smith, who hit a 3-run homer. Tell you something, boys, that play by Reggie Jackson, he gets a lot of publicity with his bat, but that play looms bigger and bigger when he was hit by the throw.
How about the play this guy made? Throwing out Blair.
Well, that was
Right
the play,
field.
but Jackson's play, it's got the...
A little tree.
There'll be some explanations to that one. He was going for downtown, didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. be all kinds of explanations and reasons given, and it all boiled down to judgment. Left field out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gossage. He just gets the ball and throws as hard as he can for as long as he can. Two balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on.
Joe, the pitchers like this, there's Garvey on deck with that little extra something on their fastball, are effective in this ballpark because you can't pull them. They're always making you hit the ball to the big part of the ballpark, left center field, dead center, right center. Your bat's trailing just a little bit. You can't quite get out in front.
Struck him out. That's the first strikeout for the Goose. So there are 2 outs, nobody on. Steve Garvey, the batter. Garvey hit into the unique double play in that first inning, a 9-3-6 double play. He walked in the 4th, flied to right in the 5th, and flied to left. Out of play, foul ball. Didn't get around on it. The Yankees in the bottom of the 10th, Paul Blair, Roy White, Thurman Munson. It's that trio that tied it up. He is really fogging.
You've got 2 guys that come out of the bullpen in this game late and are just fired, nothing but express up there, Gossage and Welsh, and it's all fastballs. A couple of curveballs to Bucky Dent, where you couldn't get hurt, but to the big guys that can hurt you, it's all number 1.
Like he wants him to go way outside off the strike zone. Is that what Munson was saying, Joe? You see that right hand? Moved way out the strike zone.
He doesn't want him to make a mistake and come in with it. Hit that outside corner. We're going to miss it way out there. Slider. And he may come back and do it again and get him on the 2-2 pitch. It'll be interesting to see how he works him. There he goes again. He wanted it outside. He's going for that corner. 1, 2, 3 for the Dodgers in the 10th. We go to the bottom half of the 10th. We're all tied. Dodgers 3, Yankees 3, and coming up it'll be Paul Blair, Roy White, and Thurman Munson.
You're watching Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
Being a catcher's no walk in the park. Take Mike Piazza. This guy's a human target for a flamethrower who can reach speeds up to 100 miles an hour. Even foul tips to the mask go with the territory. And he's got to call pitches, handle pickoffs, pitch-outs, and pop-ups. Not to mention human freight trains hurtling toward him. Spikes first. Try telling Mike Piazza baseball isn't a contact sport.
Griffey going back. He's near the track. He leaps. What a catch!
Baseball fans, now you can own the ultimate collection of baseball videos. 4 videos for the price of 1. All from Major League Baseball Home Video, the official source of big league fun.
Treasure this, for you may never see it again in your lifetime.
Just look at this all-star lineup. First, you'll get the biggest names in baseball up close and in action, and baseball's hottest stars.
Back goes McRae. Wow!
Then it's the finest showcase of fielding gems ever assembled in one place, all together in This Week in Baseball's Greatest Plays.
Ball is there.
Next, you'll go onto the field and into the clubhouse for an inside look and listen to the real sights and sounds of baseball, and now it can be heard.
Don't you be intimidated.
I'm not intimidated. So what? Where's he allowed to go?
Plus, there's more. Order today and you'll also receive super-duper baseball bloopers, too. It's a double-sized dose of baseball's funniest bloops and blunders. More than an hour's worth of fun and laughs, all packed into one super tape.
Reaches up. Hits him right in the head. He goes over the top. Look at this.
It's a Grand Slam collection. 4 videos for the price of 1, and is available only through this special TV offer. Don't miss your chance to get into the game and have a ball.
Yes, another one. That's gonna make it. Yes, look at the boy. Look, see you. Get on. Yes.
Here's how to order yours today. To order your baseball video collection, just call this toll-free number right now. You'll receive all 4 of these fantastic videos, a $60 value for only $24.95. This is not a club. There is no additional purchase. So call and order your baseball video collection now.
Strike up the band, college football fans. Classic Sports is giving you a reason for celebration with the greatest games and players in the history of higher education. All the traditions, all the legends, and all the passion. Every Friday night, it's Smash Mouth in-your-face football. So hit the books and look up the words Dynasty, Intensity, and Hail Mary. Phi Beta football. It's a rush. Catch Miami and Florida State in an 87 clash Tuesday at 8 on Classic Sports Network. We now return to Game 4 of the Ultimate World Series on Classic Sports.
56,445 here. Bottom of the 10th, and Mickey Rivers has come out as a pinch hitter. The crowd really reacts. Say moves in close at third. Foul ball. Rivers 3 for 8 in the World Series. There was an extra inning game in last year's World Series. Game number 1, Yankees won it in 12 innings, 4-3 at New York. Look at Ron Say sneaking in. Popped up behind the plate. Grody's coming near the stands. He has a play. He makes it. Rivers fouls to Grody. 1 out. Batter is Roy White. White, a very key bunt in that 8th inning. When Blair singled, White moved him along, and Blair scored on a double by Munson. The bunt will get lost in that box score, but that was the big one. Strike. 1 out, nobody on. 3-3. Good fastball, strike 2.
I guess it's going to be who weakens first between Welch and Gossage, and neither one's showing signs at this point. They're really throwing hard.
You can hear that glove pop up here. Grody's using a pillow. I know that glove doesn't pop. It's one of those soft ones.
Real small one, too, Joe. Like small pocket, and the ball gets in there, it stays out. This is probably the smallest glove of any catcher in the big league.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to settle his young pitcher down. So right here, no problem. We got 2-2, 1 out. Make a good pitch. Still in command.
Ball 3.
There's a little touch of experience for you right there. Did you see Grody take that ball out, rubbed it up, made sure he let Welch just relax a minute, take a little bit of time. Big pitch here. Don't want this guy in first base. Make him hit his way on. You don't want to walk him.
Foul ball, fastball.
You find a lot of that kind of stuff. Check swing, foul off on a hard thrower. You mentioned it before, Tom. The last time he came in, Gossage or Forrester, you have to start so quickly in order to get that bat out in the hitting area.
Your observations, Tony, about these 2 guys coming out and throwing nothing but heat is exactly correct. And it could be a story of who weakens first. Welch is throwing with an injury to his rib cage on the right-hand side, and it had bothered him, not the other night, but he has had some trouble with it. If he gets a little bit tired, that could become a sore spot for him.
Thurman Munson with Reggie Jackson on deck. One man out. Score tied, 3-3. Ball inside. There he is. Reggie Jackson. It was the confrontation. Jackson against Welch. Welch struck him out.
And Joe Welch better not take Roy White for granted down at first base, because he got a pretty good lead on that first pitch. A little bit walking.
Popped up in the infield. Russell saved. They're having trouble, and it stayed up there. Russell made it. They looked at each other for what seemed like 30 seconds.
I just think it's so noisy in here, Joe. There's so many people. They're making so much crowd noise that they're having trouble communicating. What a rematch right here. Look at this. Young Bob Welch and the veteran, the slugger home run hitter, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie said he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke off second. There are 2 outs. Roy White is at first base. Right now it's Jackson against Welch again. Ball. Ball 2. Jackson is moved further back from the plate. And you see him stand up there. He's not as close to the plate as he was all game. He's back.
And don't forget, Jackson's been hitting the arm today, too. How much strength he's going to have in that arm, we don't know. He took a pretty good shot from Terry Forster off that right forearm.
Strike. Look how far back he is.
It looked like he wants to swing, Tony. You know that?
Might not if the elbow's hurt him. That bottom hand for left-handers, the one that you pull the bat through, you can't get it out. He's going to be dragging it.
Base hit. White stopped at second. And it's up to Piniella. Jackson continues to hit. Second base hit.
Reggie ahead on the count. Another one of those strong guys who, when they roll those wrists, the ball just picks up speed going through the infield. Lopes made a good try for it, but it just kept bounding, and that overspin shot it right through the infield.
First hit the youngster is given up. And the game is on at second base. Roy White. We are tied 3-3. Bottom of the 10th, 2 outs. Piniella against Welch in the 8th. Popped at the first baseman, Garvey. There is the ball game. Jackson is on at first. 2 outs. Strike 1.
Gary, Lou Piniella getting a game-winning hit really should not surprise anyone. Do you agree?
Not at all, because he was a firm advocate of hitting down on the ball, and that pitch by Welch was up. And Lou Piniella was a good hitter. He was, the Rookie of the Year, 300 hitter during his career a couple of times, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
I think that time at bat says here was Welch going with his best pitch, the high fastball, against a good fastball hitter. It was power against power, and Piniella won it.
Absolutely.
But, when you think about that game, Piniella got the headlines that day, but you have to think about Reggie Jackson and his dance act between first and second when he got hit with the thrown ball. That had to change it.
Well, I think getting hit by that ball and Bill Russell slapping the ball down and it not being called an out, trying to get the double play ball, I really believe that was the turning point.
Well, the Dodgers had to be talking about that as opposed, again, to Pinella's hit. They're going to talk about why did he do this, why didn't he do that, and those are the kind of things that fester, I think, with the ball club.
Well, I think so, but it's really the little things that win you a lot of ball games, and Reggie Jackson used his head and his hip to help the Yankees win that game.
Okay. Well, the Yankees carried their momentum into a sweep of the next 2 games as they beat the Dodgers for the 2nd straight time in the World Series. And their win is the culmination of a remarkable season. For Gary Carter, I'm Joe Garagiola, and hey, thanks for joining us.
Coming up next on the Ultimate World Series, Pete Rose paces the Reds as they battle the A's in a thrilling Game 5 from the '72 series, right after this.
What's your favorite sports memory? Is it Reggie's 3 homers in Game 6? Or Michael's 6 3-pointers in Game 1? Or maybe it was the time you and your dad had the best seats in the house. We want to hear your favorite sports memory and maybe put it on the air. Classic Sports Network invites you to send us your favorite memory, whether it was a moment seen round the world or one that only you know about. Write it down on a postcard, mail it in, and if we tell your story, you get star billing and a Classic Sports logo t-shirt. Send your favorite memory to Favorite Sports Memories, Classic Sports Network, Murray Hill Station, P.O. Box 1830, New York, New York, 10156. Because if it meant something to you, it means something to us.
Forgot about Larry Bird, that's all.
No one ever said I couldn't hit.
Pride being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
When Pride of the Yankees came out in the movie with Gary Cooper and Teresa Wright, why, I was a Lou Gehrig fan. Every time I see the movie, and I've got the video at home, every time I see it, I cry.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Being a former ball player, you know what he's saying. I mean, not that I could compare myself to Lou Gehrig, I couldn't, because he's one of the greatest players ever to play the game of baseball. And when the opportunity came for me to get a number with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and they said number 4 is available, I said, that's a number I want. Even though the number 4 was a Yankee, I wanted that number. Not that I knew that someday it would be retired by the Dodgers, because I got into the Hall of Fame.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Forgot about Larry Bird, that's all.
No one ever said I couldn't hit.
Pride being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
What are people saying about Classic Sports Network? 3 words. It's about time.
4, 3, 2, Michael fires.
It's about the time Hank broke the Babes record.
It's gone. It's 7:15.
Or the time Mary Lou was perfect. Classic Sports Network, the only network that brings you the greatest sports stories and personalities of all time, all the time.
Suddenly, it was a new beginning, and a man named Ricky had created it.
I heard some whispering going on and they had a petition up. Robinson was coming on the club, but they were not going to play with Robinson.
Jackie Robinson can be best characterized reflectively in one word: unconquerable. Everything about Jackie Roosevelt Robinson was right. And when people ask me, who is the greatest all-around athlete this nation has yet produced, I say Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Also, the greatest all-around man.
Stars. They shine. They shimmer. And boy, can they shoot! Classic Sports Network presents Phi Beta Classics, the most exciting college basketball games in history with the biggest stars of the game. Jordan, Ewing, Wilkins, Drexler.
Puts it up.
So watch some stellar hoop action as North Carolina takes on Georgia. Saturday at 7:15 Eastern only on Classic Sports Network.